next stop on our underground adventure takes us to the lush valleys of the Swiss Alps. Oh, look down there!
I would, but I'm trying not to kill us.
No, you look ahead. We're heading to the village of Vals, perched over 1,000 metres above sea level and surrounded by alpine pastureland. Look at these little dotted about little
I think this is
shelters.
it, actually. This is Vals. Here we are, Vals. Beautiful little buildings, aren't they? I mean, look up there, Caroline. These little barns built into the hill.
The only thing I know about these little chalets and things is that I make one every Christmas out of gingerbread. Look at that little window! That's ridiculous. If Hansel and Gretel aren't in there, I want my money back.
Although we're in the heart of Switzerland, the underground house we're looking for is owned by Dutch architect Bjarne Mastenbroek. Wanting to push his creative boundaries and live out his childhood dream, he built an underground den as a holiday home for his family.
Bjarne found a small mountainside plot of land, but it came with a caveat. He had to keep the traditional agricultural barn, which existed on the site. Piers, this is what we've been talking about. These are the traditional farm buildings, and these would have had the animals underneath, and the heat would have been rising up and drying out the hay. But of course, you know, as in everywhere in the world now, animal welfare have become involved. So these are no longer available for the farmers to use. Monolithic sort of farm. That's just a tragic waste.
Oh, dizzy.
Halfway up the hillside, we stumble upon the old barn we've been looking for. Well, this is the entrance.
Yeah.
So somehow underneath this is our house, or...
Yeah, well, I think we go into it and then we'll discover it. It's very mysterious, isn't it?
Shall I open it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Some hay.
that's really exciting.
God, look at it. This is insane.
Rather than get rid of the old farm building, Bjarne converted it into the entrance for his underground home.
Talking about how to combine modern and ancient agricultural buildings, this is like a masterclass in that
It is.
for me.
It totally is. I mean, look at that concrete.
That's concrete, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and just the bare light fittings. And look at that. That is the tunnel, I think, that takes us into the house.
Spooky dark corridors and being underground I don't really like very much. But that I can see light at the end of that tunnel.
Feels like we're entering church.
Or a catacomb. I think what it reminds me of actually is when you go into the pyramids in Egypt, where they draw you down into the earth.
Yes. This is beautiful.
That's lovely, isn't it?
Feels like this has been here for thousands of years. And there's a lot of light here. I think it's really theatrical. I mean, the whole orchestrated entrance that leaves the world behind and brings you into a sort of secret world. But it's also just beautiful material, beautiful light, beautiful angles.
And then just there, look, the little finials and doorknobs.
Yeah,
Hang on,
they're hilarious, aren't they? I mean, wow. I mean, the shaft of light there is just so lovely. Look at that.
Isn't it ridiculous, Piers?
Beautiful.
That's so small and so exciting.
Yeah.
It's just a little slash of light through concrete. Why should that be so thrilling? But it is thrilling, isn't it?
I'm coming out in goosebumps.
As we find daylight again, the concave facade of the main house and its panoramic views are revealed.
This is extraordinary, isn't it?
The deceptively spacious living room is a complete contrast to the entrance tunnel. Despite being underground, the space is flooded with daylight and not at all what I'd expected.
I have never seen you ever sit down in a house when we arrive.
I think in a way it's because that whole experience has been so carefully orchestrated. The barn, that fantastic hall, that when you come to this point, so I'm ready to sit and just kind of drink it in.
I mean, it's a stunning sitting room. This would do me.
The starting point for building this underground home was to dig a void 36 feet deep into the hillside, big enough to enclose this 2-story, 4-bedroom house. A thick, reinforced retaining wall was then poured and internal walls were built from concrete. The front of the house is sealed by a concave facade made from local stone and scattered with windows to allow light into every room of the property. A 22-metre underground tunnel connects the house to the barn entrance.
To find out more about the inspiration for this award-winning home, we're meeting the owners, Bjarne and his wife, Katrin.
Hi there.
Lovely to see you. And who's this?
It's Joanne.
Joanne, hello, darling. I've got to start by saying this is an extraordinarily beautiful house.
A bit unusual, but...
What made you decide to build an underground house?
When I was young, I built a lot of underground huts with my friends. And that idea I always kept in my mind.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be nice to do it. And here it was quite obvious because of the steep hill.
Yeah. I hope you don't mind the way I think of this house. But I feel it looks to me like a meteorite or a big cannonball has hit, and then you pull it out and you're left with this perfect circle, and then inside that circle you've built a house.
It's a perfect circle under 45 degrees. So if the projection of it is a ellipse.
The design of this house reminds me of homes for burrowing animals. Inside, the maze of rooms feels just like a warren. I wouldn't be surprised to see a rabbit.
The layout may flow seamlessly now, but fitting a 4-bedroom house in a small hole in the ground was a huge challenge for Bjarne.
We spent a lot of times on the layout. First it was like a banana-shaped building, 3 stories, but we had to cut it down all the time, also because of budget, until we reached like 2.5 stories and much more undeep. So then you have to sort of organize all the rooms so that they get daylight. That was probably the trickiest thing to get in. The design of the house as an overall design took a lot of time, and then we started building, but that took also more than 2 years.
And how evolved was the design when you started building? Was it absolutely finished or...?
No, not at all. So we also accepted mistakes. Maybe you will see in the tunnel there is one skylight that has a real bulb in it. So something went wrong, and then you come here and the contractor says, I'm very sorry, I have to take it down. I said, oh, no, it's fine, keep it. And then he's looking at you like, what? Can I keep it like this? Because it's not perfect.
How amazing.
So no, we don't want to have it perfect. My idea is that for architecture, you don't need perfection. In a way, a perfect architecture tends to become very boring.
Although Bjarne was relaxed during the complex build of this underground house, there was one aspect that he wouldn't compromise on. He was adamant about using a local construction team, out of respect for the area. Buying a cup of coffee is massively expensive here. Is it massively expensive to use Swiss builders?
Yes, it is.
So did you have a budget in mind when you started this build?
Yeah, but we didn't make it.
You didn't make it by what, a little or a lot?
A lot. No, I think we ran over budget about 2.5 times.
Did the villagers take to the idea of you building it? Because it's so unlike anything else around here.
I think in the beginning they didn't believe it would ever be built.
Because...
It was like, it's too crazy, they
Well,
would
they
never
didn't think
build
you
it.
could do it.
Yeah.
They said later on that when it was built that they gave building permit within 3 weeks, which is very fast, because they thought it wouldn't be built.
And now that you are here and you're very much part of this village, do the people in the village accept you and like this house?
I think so. We had an open door for one day when it was finished, and we expected like 50 or 60 people, but it turned out that we had 1/3 of the village came, over 350 people.
That's a lot of
So they
capacity.
were curious. They were curious.
Yeah.
So this is a really beautiful space. I mean, this is so sensual. You know, bathed in this pink light.
I love
brilliant,
it.
isn't it?
That's the mirror, isn't it, from the kitchen?
Yeah, one-way mirror.
Yeah.
But actually, it shows that you don't always need lots of daylight, but you need the quality of light. And this has a very sort of serene quality again. Into the light.
Yeah, this is the you could say the architectonical bedroom.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's just Switzerland in a picture frame.
Yeah. Yeah, here it's really the Mount Tomil that we framed, yeah.
I love the sort of ad hocness of this.
The funny thing is, if you find a Japanese closet like this that fits up to 3 millimeters to the house you already built, then so it had to be this one.
So had you made any plans for steps?
No, we forgot a lot in this house while designing.
I really like that idea that, in fact, creativity sometimes comes out of mistakes, unplanned things.
Some of the best things we didn't design, they just happened.
I love this bedroom. This is so secret-y bedroom.
But you know, that's why architecture is not so important. It's the bed linen. At the end of the day, I want bed linen.
Oh, that's good. Very good. How much pleasure do you get from coming here?
Oh, lots. This is why we come as often as we can. I think the main thing is that it's really completely different from being in the big city.
When you first walked in today, Piers, I've never seen you react in quite the same way. What was it?
I guess I instinctively responded to the space and atmosphere and drama.
But do you know why? Because architecture nowadays is too much about what you see.
Yeah.
And the nice thing of an underground house is you can't get an image from this house because the only thing you see is this hall. So you have to explore it and to undergo it, which is different from looking at only.
Whereas this is rare in that we can never judge it as an object.
The only reason we were able to buy the land was that the old farmer didn't want to sell. He wanted to sell the land, but every time there was almost a sale, he backed out. And we didn't understand why, from other people before us. But then I asked him, can we keep the barn? And then the old man said, you want to keep the barn? Then I want to sell. So it turned out that he never wanted to sell because of destructing his old barn.
But that's so moving.
So has that farmer been back to see the house?
Yeah, he came in, 2 sticks, 93 years old. And he was sitting very proudly here at the table while these 350 people from the village also entered the house.
Yeah, that's too hot for me.
Perfect for me.
Yeah, but it's too hot for me.
How about we grab some water? Can we use this?
Yeah, this is a well we struck when we built the house.
And so this is just beautiful drinking water.
This is perfect drinking water. 6 liters per minute.
Really?
Yeah. It's 10 degrees summer and winter.
Oh God, it's beautiful water.
Perfect.
And one thing is missing.
Oh! This house has got absolutely everything.
I now realise I didn't bring my swimmers. I'll get my undies.
All right.
Well, it's quite warm.
Come and sit here. Come and sit this side. Come and sit that side. It's very hot, isn't it, Piers? Too hot for you, Piers. All right.
Yeah, it's perfect. Oh!
Piers.
Perfect, actually.
Do you want a little dribble?
Oh, lovely. Yes, please.
That will do you. Here we go.
Dribble of pleasure. Thank you.
Everything about this house delights me. The entrance, the coming in, the fact that it's an underground house, which really surprises me.
Yeah, and not many buildings make me lose or forget my professional self and actually just experience it in all its sort of dramatic glory. And this one I really did.
Cheers. I'm absolutely poached.